I am recording.
Oh, sorry.
It says recording.
Long enough to blind someone. Hi everybody and welcome to episode 21 of Knights at the Round Table. Today we are discussing the 1982 film? 83 film?
84?
84 film? Damn it! Oh, I had this problem last week too. The Last Unicorn, anyway. I'll put an annotation with the correct date. I need more coffee. Alright! I'm going to start with general impressions of the film. Jen.
It was interesting. I read the book. So
Okay.
I can fill in all of the parts that are missing, which are so many. But I haven't read the book recently, so it's also like I have no idea why that's important or why that's happening or yeah. They cut out a lot and spent a lot of time on stuff like scenery, which wasn't that great-ish. I don't know, it reminded me of, like, some of the older Disney films, like Snow White, with the layering of how they did the
Like right at the
animation.
open scene,
Yeah,
the pan through the forest?
Well, the whole thing,
Yeah.
for Snow White at least, was done with, like, stacks of things to give it that three-dimensional look. And it kind of had that, but it also kind of had, like, the Sleeping Beauty look, which was, like, the watercolor-ishness. And I feel weird talking about this, because I feel like my sister should be talking about this, not me. But she's not here, so, I don't know. It needs updating.
Okay, yes. This movie is so 80s. It's painful. But also, at the same time, well, to be fair, full disclosure, there's a huge nostalgia factor for me, because for a couple of years they would play The Last Unicorn on New Year's Day. And as kids, we would all run up to Grandma's place and watch it with her to give our parents a sleep in, which they desperately needed. So, the movie itself, I associate with grandma and warmth and fun. And also tears, because when I was a kid, that movie made me cry a lot. I recall. So yeah, there is a nostalgia bonus for me for this film, but I can readily admit that it's extremely 80s and could do with a little updating. Yeah.
The songs and the singing. Oh my gosh. I was like, ow, my ears. Didn't they train these people at all? Some of them were quite great. Like, I really like the title song.
Yeah, that was sung by a British rock group, ironically named America.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
But the singers, like the actor singers. I was like,
oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh,
Which
no.
is unfortunate because the voice actress for The Last Unicorn.
that was Mia
Character.
Farrow, right?
Yes, I believe so. She was really good. And also the voice actress for Molly.
That's Angela Lansbury, isn't it?
Was it?
I don't know.
I think so.
I know Angela Lansbury was one of the voice actors, but it never said who played who.
Who played who? Can we get something from the peanut gallery?
Anyways.
Yeah, anyway, they were very, very
And
good.
like Jeff Bridges, and Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee was incredible. Of course he was.
And it's Christopher Lee.
It's Christopher Lee.
But the animation to go along with the voice left a lot to be desired.
Really, I had absolutely no issue with the animation, it being a product of its time.
Wow. Yes, that's true.
Angela Lansbury did play Molly.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, well done.
But it just...
And Mama Fortuna.
Well, there you go.
Nope. My mistake. Molly was Tammy Grimes.
Oh, Tammy Grimes was Molly.
Angela Lansbury was Mummy
Mama Fortuna.
Fortuna.
Oh, okay.
I can't
I'm
read.
disappointed there.
But
And Neil Bourgeois was the skull. He was the chef from Little Mermaid. And
Oh, okay.
He was at Comic-Con.
Was he?
At Ottawa Comic-Con. Like,
Ah.
in, like, this past year.
I
Like,
paid
a month
attention.
ago.
He was also in Deep Space Nine.
Well, there you go.
Sorry.
It just... Like, there's one thing to say it was a product of its time in the 80s, but the only thing that I can really compare it to, because I know they're 80s, is the Disney cartoons. They didn't have the weird, awkward facial pause things, and, like, it was so bad, and I'm sorry to the animators if they're watching this, but I'm sorry. I hope you've improved.
Oh, I didn't even notice. It didn't bother me one bit, the animation. What bothered me was some of the voice actors were terrible. Like Prince, what's his face? He was terrible.
His lines were terrible.
Well, that's true. The butterfly was a time-traveling butterfly, I'm fairly certain.
What?
Because he was singing songs that didn't exist in that time period.
I wouldn't have known that.
Well, I saw flitting past, he was singing those songs, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is castles and knights and stuff. They did not have these songs.
Oh. Okay.
So, in my head, I justified that. He's a time-traveling butterfly, because one of the lines said by the last unicorn is butterflies only ever repeat what they hear. So, there's only one way that butterfly could have heard these songs, and that was he travelled through time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes it a little bit more science fiction-y.
Science fiction happening in the wings.
Literally.
Oh no!
The butterfly
Unintentional
effect.
pun. Oh no! Oh dear. I haven't read the book, so I don't know what was missing.
A lot.
Yeah, I gather. I will read the book.
Pretty much anytime you went, wait, why is that happening? It's because you're missing something.
I didn't have any why is that happening moments.
Oh.
Why? Which why is that happening moments have you
A
had?
lot of the stuff to do with Haggard, really.
Oh, yeah. About the name Lord Haggard. Really? Really? It's the most literal name I have ever heard. Oh look, Lord Haggard is
Haggard.
Haggard. Well then.
There's a lot of history to do with his kingdom, too, in the book.
Oh, okay.
And why it was like that, and how he came upon the bull, and, like, a lot about the bull in general, because all you see in the movie is that he's there.
And scary.
Yeah. Oh, I want to talk about Immortals, too.
Oh, so there's a lot of backstory about the Immortals?
Well, I don't remember that part from the book, but it's mentioned a lot in the movie. She says, right at the end of Mami Fortuna scene, don't run away from Immortals.
It gets their attention. Yes.
Yeah. And what does she do when she meets the Red Bull?
Yeah. Well then.
That occurred to me last night, like right before bed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to remember this. I won't remember this. And then I did. I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah, right?
So they talk about Immortals a lot. The Harpy was really interesting to me in, like, weird ways, because, like, yeah, I can understand why Mami Fortuna would want to capture one. Like, I'm the only one who captured this harpy. A harpy.
A harpy. And you will always remember that, and this harpy who is immortal will always remember that she was captured by
Mami Fortuna.
Mama Fortuna, and therefore...
that is my immortality.
Yeah.
Immortality. Again.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I can kind of see her point, but I still don't understand why the harpy went after the unicorn for letting her out.
Because harpies are like that?
Why? That's their nature, I guess.
I guess.
But
Yeah, because in all of the myths, harpies are not pleasant creatures.
yeah, but I would still, if I had the choice after being released from a cage, I would go after the prisoner, not the person who let me out the first chance she got.
Yes, but you're not a harpy. Thank God.
It doesn't make any sense, though. Like, yeah.
I liked how the harpy was drawn. It was basically a vulture with breasts.
3.
Yeah. Yeah. So they didn't have the human face.
Not at all.
No.
Which was, I thought, quite reasonable.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. I liked it.
And she could talk like the unicorn could talk, type thing. It was kind of almost like a brain to brain thing.
Yes. Yeah. Speaking of a unicorn brain to brain thing, I remember this from when I watched it as a kid. But Molly, when she sees the unicorn, that scene was so beautifully done. I almost teared up again, but I remember when I was watching it as a kid, that's the scene that made me cry.
That's like, another thing that's in the book more. Like,
oh yeah?
Her backstory. Like, why? What? Waiting for the unicorn? Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Oh, see, because I just sort of take it as, you know, those kids who are dreamers, who are so caught up in their dream and they really, really, really want it to happen, and then it doesn't, and so they get bitter as they age. That's who she was for me. She was basically me. But still waiting for my unicorn.
I don't think that's how it works in this.
Well, see, that's how I took it. Because, because I can see that. I can see somebody going, no, I know there are unicorns. I really want to see a unicorn. Like, that's her dream. Like, that's one magical moment that she had lived for, and then it never happened until now. And so when it does happen, after all the shit she's been through, she just sort of breaks down. So,
I think
that scene was gorgeous to me.
There is more backstory to it, though. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the way it always is when something is adapted into a film. You lose a lot.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah.
Princess Bride did a pretty good job.
Princess Bride did do a pretty good job, but I don't think Princess Bride was as complex. There wasn't the huge mythology behind Princess Bride as there was behind...
Have you seen the book?
Yes, I have read the book.
Okay.
There was a fair amount of world building, but for the deep mythology stuff,
okay.
there wasn't that. It was, you know, a bunch of people running around having adventures. Have fun storming the castle. Like,
yeah. Mind you, I think I read The Last Unicorn before I saw the movie. So I got it backwards. Whereas Princess Bride, I saw the movie first.
And then read the book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's what happened to me for the Princess Bride as well. And of
most
course,
people,
will be for the
I would
Last
assume.
Unicorn. Yeah, really? That makes me sad.
Well, the book is good, but the movie...
The movie is also really good, so... Apparently, the movie is better than the book.
For the Princess
Bride.
Bride. Yes. Just to be clear.
Not The Last Unicorn.
No.
But for the Princess Bride.
Yeah.
So we just heard from the Peanut Gallery that the studio that animated this was an anime studio, which makes a lot of sense because I do recall watching it at midnight last night.
Me too.
Going, this looks a lot like anime. It's not like a typical Western sort of animation. It looks like anime. And it was. So there you go.
Yeah. You know, we haven't mentioned Schmendrick at all yet.
No, we haven't. And I have mixed feelings about Schmendrick.
One of my favorite scenes, and the one that always makes me giggle, is when he's tied to the tree.
Oh god, yes!
It's so ridiculous.
Isn't it?
That it cracks me up every single time.
What did he say? That he's created, what was it? Was it a Fraser pine?
That's what he says.
It's a Fraser pine.
Not a Fraser pine.
No, they didn't draw a Fraser pine.
Not a Fraser pine. It's some sort of pine.
Yeah,
but,
that he... No.
And I was like, isn't that kind of more of a willow?
Yeah, or anything other than a pine. It didn't look like a pine.
It was not a pine.
No.
It's like somebody drew it and we're told kind of what a pine looks like, but by a blind person.
I loved the voice for that tree, and also the "No, she cannot have you," the harlot. Just.
I love you.
And actually, I have used that a lot, and I realised watching this last night that that's where I got it from. Yeah, so that was a good scene. Schmendrick is... He's problematic for me, because he's sort of the bumbling hero type. And there's an awful lot of the bumbling hero type running around in a lot of fiction, and it's really annoying.
I think of him as more the sidekick. The hero, to me, is the unicorn.
Well, that's true. She is the hero.
And she's collected on her quest the inept sorcerer who's still kind of learning his trade, and the woman who
Molly
doesn't really have much else to do.
She's emotional support.
Yeah. She is, and she gets a lot more in the book.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Of story. But Schmendrick also gets his backstory in the book, and
yeah.
I don't remember that either.
No, well, you can't really fit that into a film.
No. But I like that he does get more confident, and as he gets more confident, he gets better at his craft, which... Yeah, he's the, only one who gets development.
Oh, that's not true.
Other than the unicorn.
Okay, there we go. Other than the unicorn. Well, I don't know, Molly kind of does. Where, she's all, "Oh my god, you changed her into a human, you idiot."
Yeah.
To, "Don't change her back. She wants to stay, you idiot."
Yeah. Well.
I liked Molly as a character very much. I thought for the film that she was one of the better developed characters. Just... I felt that as she was such a hurtful youth, and then horrible things happened, and she ended up a miserable, starving cook in the middle of the woods, and then she saw a unicorn, and that was her way out.
Yeah.
That was her way to a better future.
I think the second book is focused more on her.
There's a second book?
Yeah.
Oh. I only know about the first one.
I think it's focused on her. I think she's in it. At least. I don't remember anymore.
Oh, you know what? I hope so, because I loved her character. I loved how she was sort of an emotional crutch for the unicorn, and then also for the prince, who's like, "I don't know how to woo this woman, help me." "I have a poem, will you check it for me?" It was kind of cute.
That happens in the book too, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Again and again and again. It's kind of funny. And it kind of reminded me a little bit of Cyrano.
Oh, what?
Cyrano de Bergerac?
Nope, my mind just blanked.
Oh.
The nose?
Oh, yes!
Cyrano, for
Sorry.
you English folks.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
You pronounced it in French.
No,
it's Cyrano!
That's how it's pronounced. I'm just being daft. Yes.
I'm not French! That's how it's pronounced!
No, I'm just being daft.
I'm like, you seriously have to know about this. You, of all people, should know about this.
Yeah. Did it happen in the Stone Age? Because that's how I would know about it.
You're not up on your 18th century French
literature.
plays?
Yeah. Nah. But I know what you're talking about.
Good.
I do know. It just took a while for my brain to go, oh.
It still felt a little like that, except that the prince actually does write his own things.
Mm.
So, but it's with the corrections.
Yes. And I wish they had done more with King Haggard. Because I really wanted to know why he was so miserable. Because I think he would have been a much more sympathetic villain if I had known more. Because there was a scene where Schmendrick is trying to entertain him, and he's literally just sitting on his throne, looking away, looking miserable. And I'm like...
Looking at the camera behind him.
Yeah.
Looking miserable. I was like, why couldn't you just, angle the camera here and have him looking miserable and Schmendrick entertaining him? Why did it have to be from back here? It just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, and he was literally just sitting there like...
Yeah.
And it made me feel sad for him, but I wanted to feel sadder.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he was just your generic selfish prig.
Yeah.
There should have been more, I felt, for his character. That said, Christopher Lee did a fabulous job voicing him.
Yes.
As, he would, because Christopher Lee.
That's the end of the argument.
Yep,
because
Christopher Lee. Your argument is invalid.
But the unicorns, too, are, like, all of them just trapped in the water. Like, how did...
Yeah, how did, none of them fight back?
One unicorn was able to fight back. How come they didn't, get together, have an enclave? I mean, there were millions of them.
Maybe it's the nature of the unicorns, because it's supposed to be... A unicorn in mythology is supposed to be only seen by the purest of maidens. So maybe they're... In this, they're not...
touched by purest of maidens. Anybody could see them, but it was just...
Oh, I thought it was seen. But I have no idea. So maybe that sort of idea is they're too gentle to fight back, which is why it took that one special one.
Who was fighting back for love.
Yeah. Because Moron thought he could stop a ball just by standing in front of it like this.
Well, that's all he had.
Pick up a rock and throw it, for Christ's sake.
His sword was burned out of his hand.
Yeah. That bull, though, I have to say, I loved the animation of that bull.
Yes, I completely agree with that.
Yeah, it was perfectly scary, terrifying, massive, flaming bull.
Yep.
It just sounds like I'm making it... The argument was terrible. It was a pile of massive flaming bull.
It was a bull.
It was
what
a
else
bull.
do you call that?
Fire, right? Yeah.
Ox?
Oh, poor bull. But yeah, I think more history would have been nice too for that kingdom. Because you're told that it was once green and lush, and then it wasn't anymore.
Well, that was probably the first unicorn that was taken, actually.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Because once
maybe
the unicorns are gone, then their realm falls apart.
No, isn't it that it just becomes normal?
Normal, and if it's not cared for,
Okay.
it falls apart.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And all the people left because Haggard was awful.
And that's another thing that confused me, was if Haggard was this horrible, miserable wretch, why would he bother to take in an orphan boy and raise him as a son?
Yeah, well, he knew he was dying, I guess, and he wanted somebody to take over, but why? I think it explains it a bit more in the book, but I really don't remember. I'm sorry, that's going to be a repetitive thing with me. I don't remember.
Yeah, no, because they didn't explain it, and it was incongruous with the rest of his character as portrayed in this film, which is one of the things that made me go, huh?
The only reason he took in the Travelers was because he knew that she was a unicorn, because of how she walked and tilted her head and...
Or something.
Whatever.
Yeah. Last thoughts and star rating.
It's definitely something to watch, to provoke discussion about, hoarding for yourself. And that's
Don't be a selfish prick, guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
You hurt other people when you do it.
And maybe even, the environmental aspect of it, and that sort of thing.
Which could have been explored more fully, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's in the book, actually. For star rating, 2, 3, something around there. It's worth seeing, especially for the nostalgic factor. If you saw it when you were younger, I think the first time I saw it I was 13 or 14.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was 6 or
with
7.
My cousins. I was babysitting them and they wanted to watch it type thing. So, I can appreciate somewhat the nostalgic factor, which is why I wanted to buy it, so we own it. But it's not something that I am oh my gosh, I really want to see this movie, right now. Like some others.
Yeah, no, I agree. I enjoyed this movie a lot for the nostalgia factor. Although, if you're watching it as an adult, it will leave a lot to be desired. This is a fabulous movie for young kids.
If they don't get bored with the long pauses.
Yeah. Although do be careful that they're not overly sensitive young kids, because that bull gave me nightmares when I was little, so it's a scary bull.
You're not a unicorn. It won't hurt you.
I could be if I wanted to. Alright, so for me it was 2.5 stars. Still watchable. The music needs to be updated.
Oh, so
Although I have to say, there's something really, really, really wonderful about grown men singing unironically about unicorns. It's just... it made me giggle. Alright. Next film.
Mars Attacks.
Mars Attacks! Sci-fi comedy! Yay!
My sister will be so pleased.
Was that sarcastic?
No, not at all.
Okay, so the next film we will be reviewing is Mars Attacks, 1996 sci-fi comedy. If you have any thoughts about The Last Unicorn, do leave them down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks very much. Bye! Oh, yeah, if you have any suggestions for other movies, also leave down below. Alright, now bye. Get out!